All right, gentlemen, you're live.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Safe Haven. I'm your host, DC, and we are here with the team from, make sure I say it just right, Pepe4Prez. And we are sitting here with the other guests, which are Papa Stonks and Geeks. They are the founders of this project. Geeks, could you mute your mic, please, sir? We're getting a lot of feedback from you. All right, yeah, good. As I just wanted to go ahead and remind y'all that everything you hear in this session is not financial advice at all. We're just here to make sure you make the best investment decision possible so you can talk with the team directly. Not only that, but I want to say to the community, everybody, please respect. Community, please heed my warnings when I say we have a certain time restriction so that you guys limit to one question. Please, our team members, please be courteous to everybody, including me. Answer the questions directly, please, with integrity and honesty. So you guys, let's go ahead and get into it. So Papa Stonks, Geeks, why don't you guys go ahead and start off with telling us how you guys got into this space?
Yeah, into the DeFi space, absolutely. So I've been investing in crypto for a few years now, and so it was after 2-3 years of investing in this space, I was like, you know what? Let's go and dabble in this DeFi space. Like, let's go and play in this in the kind of like moonshot realm, because I'd typically just been trading on a centralized exchange. And so it was a project that was getting into fractionalized investments of watches. That was the first one that I did. And a lot of people will probably relate to this, that I went from trading on Binance to leverage trading to owning 18 NFT cats, like, very quickly. So that was how I got into DeFi, was on that side. And how I got into crypto in general was back in March of 2020, when my buddy said, yo, have you heard of Chainlink? And then got invested into that. So that's how I got into the space.
All right, hey guys. So yeah, I'm just I'm the press secretary. I'm not one of the founders, but I've been in the space since 2015 into crypto. I got into DeFi actually, like, with SafeMoon. I was mainly in Discord, and then I got dragged over here to TG. Now I have my lounge, Astronaut Lounge, and up until recently, I was the community manager for Squid Grow. And I came on board here after Geeks and Brennan, those were the two founders of this project. They told me, what they were doing, and it was just too amazing not to be a part of it. So I'm on board helping with marketing and, growing the community. Did a pretty good job over there.
I got you.
Squid Grow. Pretty good job over there in Squid Grow. So I think I can, kind of do the same thing here.
All righty. Well, hey, look, why don't y'all go ahead and tell us this? What is the mission of Pepe4Prez?
Okay. The mission of Pepe4Prez is for the entire crypto industry to submit its advocate for the 2024 presidential election that's going to be pushing a pro-crypto agenda. Meaning that the mission of this project is to get an AI language model that's backing a meme frog to be an advisor to an American citizen that changes their name to Pepe the Frog and runs a legitimate political campaign in the 2024 election. That's what we're doing.
That sounds good, man. And how are you guys going to clear the contact about?
So just one second here. Let me just change my audio put here.
No, I think DC, you were rugging a little bit, man.
Oh, okay. Am I good now?
Yeah, that sounds better.
All right. So what's pretty much saying is that first glance, it's not clear that that's the mission. In what way is going to clearly communicate that's the purpose of Pepe4Prez?
So first glance, that's not the mission, because the the project's only about 9 days old. And what happened was that it has evolved that fast. That this project started with the initial idea of, yo, dude, wouldn't it be funny to get Pepe the Frog elected as president? And if you look at the website, like that's what that website looks like. It looks like a couple boys got together and we're like, yo, fuck it, let's get a frog elected for president. Haha, it's a joke. And through 5 Twitter spaces, some of them ranging from 2 to 4 hours, and from this is our 5th AMA in as many days, the dialogue that's been framing around this project has pushed it in that direction, that it has now become this entity that we're building that for the entire industry. And so that's something that I'm working on at the moment. There's a few things. I started heavily delegating out tasks. There's about 8,300 words that I've already gotten into the AI language model. We've got 100 prompts that we run through it to test it and then get its feedback. We've got the setups of the political campaign. We've got cartoonists that are working on designing artwork for it. We're getting set up for having a legitimate political campaign with like political artifacts. And so all of this is coming together and rounding out really quick. And so the face of this is going to be changing very, very fast because the mission changed very, very fast. And so like at the moment, where that mission that I just gave you got refined, I think 3 days ago, and the project started 9 days ago. And so over the next 4 or 5 days, you know, the dialogue and the landscape when you initially look at this project will then catch up to the mission as the mission jumped ahead of the view of it at the moment.
Okay. And so in terms of accomplishing your mission, man, because people will invest with you, they want to see that you guys are accomplishing the mission. So my question is this: why not pick a presidential candidate that supports crypto and make a coin after them and theme it after Pepe? Like, this is just an example. I don't really know, like Pepe Trump or Pepe DeSantis, you know?
I'll tell you why. Because Pepe is truly for the people. Like Pepe, like the coin when it came out, and Pepe as a meme. Like I've done a like highly advanced like historical analysis of Pepe as a meme, and I mean like I went back to the definition of meme in like the Charles Dawkins 1976 book, you know, where he invented the word memetics, you know, meaning that like the meme was a derivative of genetics. And that memes were how we pass on like cultural identity over time. And then I got into Pepe as the cartoon character. And then I get into Pepe as the meme. And then I get into Pepe as a cultural icon. And then I get into Pepe and his involvement in like, you know, producing memes and sharing it and having people, you know, like share their emotions and their feelings with each other through images that they craft. And Pepe really became this figure for that. And so when I'm talking about backing somebody that changes their name for Pepe, the purpose is that this is a social experiment where the person that's running for president removes themselves from the picture. It's not about them. They have no political agenda. They are purely a messenger for an AI language model that is more sophisticated than any human political leader. That this language model can become so adept that we would want to take advice from it, you know, that it would make sense that we aren't trying to back a politician because they're human, that we back somebody that says, nope, hey, I get it. I get it. This AI language model, way smarter than me, you know, it's probably right, you know, and that we train this thing and build it up into that way, that the entire political campaign is about a nobody that takes advice from an AI meme frog. That's the political campaign. That's why it is this way. That's why we're not making, you know, a spinoff from Trump or a spinoff of Biden to try and send this. It's that this is a project for the people. This is a project for the industry, and that this is a way of having an entity and a political leader that's situated in a way that resonates with society that they haven't had before. So that's why it's this way.
All
And
right,
let's face it,
Okay, go
When
ahead.
was the last? What was the last human president that did a good job? There's a better question to ask.
I'm not going to answer that, man.
Yeah, me neither.
But yeah, man, let's get on to the marketing point. Well, first the tokenomics, man. Tell us about the tokenomics of the project. I saw there was 69% liquidity. I might be wrong about that, but I think that's what I saw on the website. Could you go over that?
You're right. Yeah. Tokenomics are really simple. It was 69% liquidity, 31% campaign funds. I designed the tokenomics of this to fund a political campaign. Like I designed the tokenomics of this in such a way that it would be able to, once this reaches the magnitude that I intend it to get to, fund a presidential run at the Oval Office. And so those 31% of supply that were the campaign funds are entirely locked away right now for the rest of the month. There's 22-day lock that's on it right now for those 31%. And the 69% just went straight into LP, and we just had this stealth launch and just started building up a strong floor. The taxes are 3.3. Everything from the taxes goes back into the marketing wallet, and we just use it entirely for marketing and building the project, like paying for the design work, paying for the cartoonist, paying for AMAs. It's just getting the voice out there. I haven't paid for any calls, not interested in that. This isn't a project that I want calls on, because we need that ability to get 130 participants into a room to listen to the narrative and build that up, and get 1,000 people or more that are legitimately on board with this, and that the rate with which that will perpetuate once we build that kind of a base around this, that a literal political base is going to be very profound. So 2% max wallet as well. So 3% taxes, 2% max wallet, no transfer tax, and no transfer tax. And what's the other one? No max transaction. Yeah. So those are the tokenomics.
Got you, man. Let's get over to the marketing side of things, man. So, before we even get there. So, man, what you guys are doing is you're really creating a big movement. This is a social movement, man. It really relies on the investors, the people, man. So this isn't really a utility project. What are you guys doing that's garnering a massive crowd to really take this to where you need it to go to?
Yeah, it is. And it comes from spending 2 to 4 hours a day in rooms of 20 to 150 people that are actively listening to what's going on here, and building up that base over time. And so I'm committed to doing this for the next while of building up this base. And so that's our marketing. It's 2 to 4 hours a day of putting me on a podium and saying, hey, listen to what we're doing. And then every single person that comes in, it's, hey, do you know somebody that we could put this guy in front of to then give the mission and explain where this is trying to go? And I'll do 2 of these a day, every day, and push this forward. So that's just one small piece of the marketing. But you need to keep in mind that this project is what happens when memes meets crypto meets politics. We are going to be able to play on a stage that no meme has ever memed before. And we are going to be building an AI language model that is going to be trolling senators. We are going to be building an AI language model that is going to be able to be turned into debate mode and then sent at politicians to discuss topics. You know what's going to happen when an objective entity like that gets the level of marketing that this project is going to garner without us needing to do the marketing is going to be insane. The moment that a human has changed their name and agreed to sign up for this social experiment, changes their name to Pepe the Frog, and gets their name officially on the presidential ballot, do you know what kind of attention is going to be coming to this? The marketing that we're playing in is in an arena that has been historically unavailable to crypto. And we are doing it because we can. It's an angle. It's an option. There's nothing that says a human can't run a political campaign that says that they take advice from an AI meme frog. And there's nothing that says that AI meme frog can't have the backing of the entire crypto industry. Like, this is the kind of project that we get to push this angle and push this agenda to the point that we can just reach out to centralized exchanges and say, hey, you guys are all the centralized exchanges in America. Who's your presidential candidate? What are they going to be saying about crypto? Do you want to have a say in that? Because Pepe the Frog is very pro crypto. And once you get that backing, and then you start to look at saying, okay, that's just one nation. And this is a social experiment. This is an 18-month social experiment to see if we can get an AI meme frog elected president. The moment that happens, the push that this would then be able to have of, oh, okay, well, what's going on with the politics in the other 200 plus countries of the world? This has the ability to change the political landscape of the world. And the marketing that's going to come from that is far different than which call channel we are reaching out to, or what's our, like, I have a raid strategy. I could go into detail on it. I've made sheets. Let me see here. One of them the guy that I sent the sheets to is on this call. We had a 30-minute conversation about how he's going to run 20-minute hype trains through 4chan and Reddit and Twitter. We've been strategically aligning which influencers that we're going to target. We're going to refine the view of this project so that way, as we build this base and then we get the refinement done, that we can then start having this being talked about on AMAs. We can start having this talked about in podcasts. We can start having this talked about on news outlets. The potential for this allows this project, because it introduces itself and sticks itself into politics, and it sticks itself into politics in a way that's fused with the potential of saying that the president is openly going to take advice from an AI language model, puts this at the frontier of science as well. There is so many parts of society that are going to be enamored with the idea of this, that this project has the marketing potential of there's just no project that can market the way that this project can and will market. So that's our marketing plan, DC.
Got you, man. And what's the flow of your marketing going to be? Meaning, like, the order of your marketing? Because oftentimes people in communities will see things start to slow down a little bit, and they wonder what's going on behind doors. Could you give us a peek into that?
Yeah. So at the moment, what we're working on right now, so one of the guys in the community is working on getting yard signs. He's working on getting campaign pins. He's working on getting campaign hats and T-shirts for actual campaign artifacts. We've got another guy that's working on having the raid community design, where within a week from now, 3 times a day, we'll have 50 to 100 people flow through 4chan, Twitter, Reddit. And a lot of this is entirely because the language model is not going to be ready for a few months. Like, the community see me do this. Within 2-3 days, I had gotten almost 10,000 words punched into the language model. And I will be doing hundreds of thousands of words into this, having multiple modes for this AI language model. So while that's getting prepared, there's also a 3-month lag time for the person that's going to be doing this to get their name changed. Meaning that what we have is 4 months to get the community of crypto to rally behind this before we set the language model loose on Twitter. Like, this is what we're talking about, is that this is the starting of the movement. Like, the movement is starting in this AMA. Like, that's what we're doing. And that this movement is just going to perpetuate. The community knows that I will have these calls every day. That the same enthusiasm that I'm talking about this today, I'll still be talking about this in August. As we're getting ready to have this AI language model that's going to be advising the future president of the United States prepared to talk about political issues.
And I think it's important to note that when we're not doing AMAs here in Telegram, we will still also be out there on Twitter having spaces on a very regular basis, on the campaign trail. So, as the community grows, those spaces will grow, and the reach people can get on Twitter. So, you know, as it continues, and we still have over a year till the election. So as it continues and as it grow, we'll have thousands and thousands of people in those spaces.
Yeah. So, DC, I think something that you probably would want to know that's worth the community hearing is the way with which I'm designing this language model. You know, because like if you're on this call right now, you're probably stopping and thinking to yourself for a moment, like, wait a minute, like how are we designing the president, right? Like if we're designing the advisor to the president, like what is the most what's a logical way to do this? You know, and what's a way that would be deemed to be objectively sound in designing a political leader of a nation? So let me take a minute and tell you about my approach for building this, because I think that it'll really fortify the level that this project is playing on and the direction with which this is going. So when I needed to design an advisor to the president, I thought it would be really fun to use AI to design a political leader that was objectively sound. So I inserted 5 historical political leaders that were known to be sound leaders in America, and that have been revered, like Abe Lincoln, George Washington, Theodore Roosevelt, Franklin Roosevelt, and I think the other one that I had was, let me see here, Thomas Jefferson. So what I got it to do was I got it to take Abe Lincoln, George Washington, Franklin Roosevelt, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and I got it to merge the personalities of all 5 of these presidents into an entity named Pepe the Frog. Now we have Pepe the Frog, and I got it to take it and assign it a personality score on a spectrum from 1 to 10 for different personality traits. So I can tell you that Pepe the Frog has an extrovertism at a level of 5, introvertism 5, openness to experience 8, conscientiousness 9, agreeableness 7, emotional stability 6, neuroticism 4, assertiveness 6, resilience 8, and openness to change 9. So now I had a personality for this thing. So then once you have a personality, it's a political leader. It should have leadership. So I got it to scour through all of those 5 political leaders and break down what made them great leaders. Then I asked it to assign a leadership platform for Pepe the Frog, this entity Pepe the Frog. And so when I got it to do that, what we ended up with was a leader that has the following characteristics. They have visionary leadership. They have integrity and ethical standards. They are adept in crisis management. They have effective communication techniques. They have a lot of empathy and compassion. They're progressive, and they have transformative initiatives that they design. They have a lot of environmental stewardship. They're resilient and adaptable, and they're also inclusive and collaborative with their leadership style. Now, if you're listening on this call, you'd probably be like, wait a second. That sounds like a really good leader. And I'm here to say that Pepe the Frog is a sound leader. So now that I have a sound leader, and I have it also with a personality that exemplifies that of historical presidents fused into one, the next logical thing to do is ask it about its opinion on political issues. So I researched 20 political issues, and I can tell you that Pepe the Frog is pro-abortion. I can tell you that Pepe the Frog is pro the Second Amendment and the right to bear arms. I can tell you that he is pro individual expression and religious freedom. That he is against any form of bigotry or hatred. That he believes in strong immigration law. That immigrants have helped build America. He has opinions on political issues now, and I did this in 3 days. I'm talking about building this for months, and I did this without a team of AI scientists. I've partnered with the team of AI scientists that I work with every single day to continue building this language model. So that's who Pepe is to me now, you know? And so, yeah, I just wanted to kind of insert that in, because there's so much going on underneath of the hood of this project that it's going to take me a bit to get the website up to speed and to get everything up from how the vision has grown. But, you know, Papa can attest to this. Anybody in the community can attest to this. Like, I am working on this very, very fast. I've started delegating, started pushing other things out, and the direction with which this is going to go very fast requires us to have conversations like these for people to understand where this project is going.
Yeah, he's worked nonstop on this. It's ever since I came on board, it's grown so fast. It's ridiculous. And you know, he's brought others on board. You know, like you said, for the AI language model, he is pumping this. He's pumping this out to get Pepe, the AI language, coded to where it literally is going to be the best option for president.
Got you, man. And so as far as everything on the development side is concerned, hey, gummit, God, how am I gonna put this? All right. So as you're really developing this, you're going to have those really loyal followers and members. But here's the thing, loyal followers and members, they can't devote their time everywhere. So what would you say is the biggest thing about y'all's community that makes people want to be there over others?
That's a good question. So there's two pieces to that question. You know, there's the start of your question and then the end piece. So the end piece is why do they want to be here? And it's because we are going for a place that's as bullish for crypto as you could possibly get. So that's why you want to be part of this community, is because having an AI meme frog that's pro crypto turned on to debate mode inside of the Oval Office, that's a green candle, my friend. So that's why people definitely want to be a part of this. But the first part was also talking about that they don't have the time and these kind of things. And the community knows this. Like the guy that I was talking to today, I was like, here's the task. Do this work to get this task down to 5 minutes. You know, do this to allow for these 50 people to do 20 minutes worth of work, and that's it for the whole day. Like my background was as a chef. Like I'm a trained, like certified, like Red Seal chef, and then I pivoted into academia. And so the academia side like equips me for like writing and having like a strong like science acumen for approaching this other side. But my background as a chef, you know, you've got to manage a gigantic team. You've got to delegate. You've got to set up systems in place that can continue to run when you're not around. And so I sat down. I was like, I am a chef and I can do this. And so that part of the community is that within a very short period of time, like there will be defined tasks and roles and things to do within this that will be building an organized society for pushing this in a way that I haven't seen in Telegram groups in my full year that I've been in DeFi. So those are my two reasons, is that this is going to be really fun. This is going to be the kind of camaraderie that you've never really experienced in crypto before. Like we've all experienced camaraderie. You know, we've all experienced sitting in a chat, you know, watching a candle absolutely fly, you know, or also watching a red candle come down and being there with your friends, being like, all right, let's hold through this. Like we're going someplace awesome, you know, and the place that we're going, I'm proposing is just the awesomest. So yeah, that's my answer to your question there, DC.
And the community is still very young, but at the same time, these people are on board for, you know, support of this social experiment. You know, they fully believe in what is happening, and you can actually tell by the chart. So sometimes the chat, you know, in a TG chat, if it isn't active for 10 minutes or so, you see a red candle. People start selling. That doesn't happen. Like this chart is holding up so good, and it really attests back to the community itself and how they believe in what's happening.
Yeah, like there was a point recently. I think I don't think I've seen this in a meme coin that's a week into launch, that it just flatlined at 400 and some odd $1,000 for like 9 hours. Just somebody waiting for somebody to sell. Nobody's interested because everybody that's in this knows the scope of this. The scope of this is the entire world viewing an AI meme frog running for president. That can situate this in a way that it will draw attention without people even necessarily immediately knowing it's a crypto project, but it's the crypto project that's supporting it. You know, that it has a pro crypto agenda, but it also has opinions on 20 other contentious issues in American politics. So there doesn't need to be just the pro crypto angle. Like, I'm designing this to be a friend. Like it has a short game in golf. Like this thing has a great drive. Like this thing likes wearing its Crocs in sport mode. This thing has its favorite beer. This thing is something that you can talk with and interact with and ask for advice with. Like, this is the political leader that the world has always aspired to interact with. And we get to design it. Like, it's the future. It's awesome.
All right, man. Yeah, good answers, dude. Well, you guys have been good, man. Nice, respectful answers. You guys answered everything with integrity and honesty and directness. You know, I like your enthusiasm, everything, man. So good job out here. But hey, look, that's it for me. I'm gonna let the community step and ask questions now. So let's go ahead and get cranking with guest speaker. Okay, guest speaker, go ahead.
Hi, am I audible?
Yeah, man.
All right. Thank you, Papa and Greeks. You've been doing a great job. An amazing presentation. I really want to know, we all know that meme tokens require some community efforts, and you've been talking a lot about your plans, and it seems your project is fully focused on the US politics alone. So I want to know, are you going to expand, maybe drive some of your political utilities to maybe other countries? And I want to also know, we all know the time of SafeMoon, we know the time of Shiba Inu, and we even know the time of so many meme coins. Now it's time for Pepe. I want to know, after the Pepe hype goes down, what are your plans regarding this situation?
Okay. I love those questions. So this topic came up about 2 days ago, and I had to really start thinking about it. I had lots of DMs with this, lots of calls about this, and I like to bring it back to the point that what this is. I want everybody to know this, that this is a social experiment, and this is a project. So I find it interesting that meme coins are called projects, because the definition of a project is that it has a defined start point and a defined end point, that it starts and it finishes, which is probably why so many meme coins die for calling themselves projects, is because by calling yourself a project, it has an end point. But what's important about this project in Pepe4Prez is that I am fully telling you, this is a project and a social experiment that is going to last 18 months in the first phase, in running an independent candidate for the Oval Office in America. Now, the goal of this, if it gets elected, the world is forever changed. If it doesn't get elected, but it runs a highly competitive campaign, the strongest campaign an independent candidate has ever run, there are 200 plus other nations in the world that will be turning to this community for advice on their broken nations or their fragmented nations, or a way for getting the world to come together. The entire crypto industry can rally behind this and can take the principles of decentralized finance and what the crypto is trying to do and then insert them into other places. So my answer to your first part of your question is that this is a project that for the purpose of the project will spend 18 months focusing in the American political arena. After those 18 months, we will have a proof of concept for AI language models giving advice to politicians and having the politicians running political campaigns that says, my voice does not matter. I take advice from this thing because this thing is smarter than me. And so that is that initial side. Now, the next thing about the Pepe hype and the Pepe phase, Pepe is immortal. So I'm not concerned about the hype of him passing. Pepe was a cartoon that was drawn in 2005. Pepe got uploaded to MySpace in 2005. He'd been drawn for years prior to that without a name. Like, he got the name because the cartoonist thought it sounded like pee, like to pee, and that's how he became Pepe. And so then he got uploaded to the internet. Then he became feels good Pepe. Then he became feels bad Pepe. Like, Pepe will continuously recircle as long as there's people that feel that they resonate with what the current version of Pepe stands for. And the Pepe that I'm introducing to the world is DeFi Pepe. And what this entire industry stands for, and to be a voice for this community and for this network that hasn't been able to get its voice out because of stigma and other types of limiting factors that are associated with it. So those are my answers to the two phases of your question.
Okay, that's fine. So I want to know, after the 18 months is over and maybe things don't go as planned, how would you take care of this situation?
Well, what I can say is that, okay, dude, that is a massive question, because it requires defining the situation. Like, you would have to describe, like, in the hypothetical that you just asked for, like, what does it mean not go well? Because for this project to do well, like, winning the presidential election, like, is a next level success, right? Doing well in the election, like, there's a lot of people that would consider this polling well to be a success, So yeah, to answer your question, I'd need you to define that so then I could draft out the situation, because I do have answers on that with what we would have built by then. But yeah, I need you to set the scene for that, because there's a lot of variance in that.
I just want to add that, if for some reason, we don't win the election, there's another election in 4 years after that, and 4 more years of campaigning.
Okay, that's fine. I got more questions, but I'll definitely join your TG community and ask more. And I would like the team maybe to put some updates on the white paper. I checked the white paper; it looks very, very scanty. So I would think the team needs to update and put more information on the white paper.
Yeah. So the update, the white paper was also designed in that V1 duster mentality of the website, and so it's evolved heavily since then. So getting a new version of both the white paper and the website is what I was talking about when DC had asked about, hey, like, there's so much more under the hood than when you first look at the website and the white paper. So getting those caught up to speed with the current format is something that I'll totally work on. But there's a lot of filters in the chat that you can call on for the docs. Obviously, getting them summarized into a white paper will be highly advantageous for the community. So anytime something's important for the community, it's on my agenda. So getting those things worked on and out is something I'll get cracking on. So yeah, thanks for your questions, boss. Look forward to seeing you in the chat.
All right, thank you, man. Best of luck to your projects. Thanks, Papa. Thanks, DC.
Yeah, thanks,
Thank
man.
you, man. Great work. Good work. All right, let's go to where's that guy? Dang it, his mic dropped off. Okay, let's go to Sujay.
Hey, DC.
What's up, dude?
Hey. Hello, geeks. Hello, Papa Sunks.
Hey man, how are you?
Hey, sorry about that. Got dropped off. Hello, geeks. Hello, Papa Sunks. Hope I'm audible.
Yeah, man, we can hear you. How are you doing?
Doing good. Thank you. All right. So first of all, I didn't think I would have so many questions for a Pepe project, but I do. I'll only stick to 2 questions in the interest of time. So here's my first question / concern, right? You have a great idea, very interesting, different for sure. But I'm thinking you might have come a little late, not with the idea, but with the branding of the project, which is Pepe. Because frankly, we have gone overboard with the whole Pepe alpha or branding or whatever you might want to call it. And at this point, like if I open my TG, there's just a whole bunch of Pepe this, Pepe that projects, right? And I keep forgetting to exit out of some of those. Now, unless I listen to you on an AMA, I'm going to ignore you, right? You might say read the white paper, but then it's exhausting to go through meaningless white papers of other Pepe projects, which have got nothing worthwhile in them, right? So the only way I'm going to connect with you and find your project interesting is if I was to hear you on an AMA speak about this. And so that limits you to, you know, how much of an audience you can gather because there's only so many AMAs you can do. So how do you then stand out and, you know, get people to realize that this is not your zero tax, just, you know, do whatever you want to do with the Pepe project, but you actually have a solid concept behind it?
Yeah, I got no problem answering that. I have a very, very clear answer for this. In my mind, this project starts when Pepe the Frog hits the presidential ballot. Meaning that there is, you know, and in the Gantt chart that I've got going for how this is going to roll, that it's going to take us a month or so to find a human that's willing to sign up for this social experiment that says, listen, I will campaign for presidency. I will agree to not insert my own political agenda. Preferentially, they won't even have one. And that they are just purely interested in the advancement of AI language and the advancement of also like politics. And so that they are willing to sign up for doing that. And the name change process, I've looked into it, takes up to 3 months depending on the state. So if I say a month to find a human and at max 3 months for them to change the name, then we're talking about 4 months from now that it hits the ballot. Now to have the hype momentum kind of build back up is meaning that we've got 4 months to build an AI language model with the AI scientists that I'm working with, which is a lot of time. AI moves so fast. Like ChatGPT just came out 7 months ago or something like that. I have to find the exact date, but you know, AI, like this society using this technology is advancing so fast that if I'm working with a team of scientists that are at the forefront of that science and we're pushing it into a realm where it's not designing this to run smear campaigns. It's not designing this to you know, do other things. It's designing this to be a leader. Like the way that you probably heard me talk about this around designing a sound leader. And that's the approach that I'm interested in taking in this. And so if I'm being honest with you, I'm not super in need of getting this widespread. I'm more interested in having these intimate conversations about this, where you say, fuck, this is a good idea. Like, I want to get this guy in front of this audience. And this was at, you know, peak about 130 people. And from here, there's going to be X number of people that say, this is a really good idea. Like, this is a project that I'm going to get behind. And if I get, I do an AMA or 2 every day for, you know, a month or 2, and we get even 10 people, 5 people, 20 people from each AMA that are getting on board with this and are able to stand by it, by the time that 4 months from now comes and all of this work has been ready, the person's name is going through the name change process. We've got the language model that's on version 39 of its iteration of improving its proficiency. That let's be real, crypto moves so fast that 98% of the useless Pepe projects that are launching right now aren't going to be around, because the winners are going to stay. And so, yeah, like the Pepe one, there's enough following there that it's going to stay. But the derivatives of Pepe, how many of them are going to stay? Maybe a dozen, 2 dozen at most. And so we will be a part of that 2 dozen. I have no questions about that. And when that time comes, and all of the website and the messaging and all of the things that are required to have this be set up are going to be developed like plenty before then, so that way we can start getting into the area of it, right? Because it only takes a couple really big people to get on board. And my approach is running this in a way of, okay, hey, like open up a door, let's open up a door, let's open up a door. Okay, now we've got a major influencer in the space that is on board with this, and purely through that, like now they can share the dialogue and they can share it. And that's why I want these conversations like this. Like we didn't even get to talk about Pepe. Like normally when I'm on these AMAs, I do spend 5 minutes educating people on Pepe. I have a document that I've written up to make sure that the entire community that's on board with this can talk about Pepe, and that they can uphold him like as a symbol that's pushing for a better future, and that's not on the Anti-Defamation League's hate symbol list like he is currently, and articulate why he shouldn't be, and these types of things. And so as the community continues to come through these AMAs and listening to me speak, like they will then be able to perpetuate the mission and the method very well, and in a way that is, in a way like a modern day grassroots political campaign of that. This makes sense. This is our guy.
Yeah, not challenging your idea at all. As outrageous as it sounds on the outset, crazier things have happened before, and everything when it's new, when it's presented, everything looks far-fetched. But then, come next year during the presidential elections, this might actually be a thing. I cannot see that as too far-fetched. So I like the idea. My second question and the last question is, you mentioned, and I'm no political historian here, but you mentioned 5 presidents, some of the most prominent American presidents in history, and you said you're using them to train the AI model. Now, were all these 5 presidents similarly politically aligned? So for your outcome to be in a certain way, as in, will the AI model, the result, will it be a combination of these 5 presidents? And what is the exact data that you're feeding from these presidents to the AI model? Is it their speeches? Is it their campaigning manifestos? What are you using?
Yeah, good question. So I'll be entirely honest with you. I designed this as a proof of concept. The AI language model that's going to be there at the end state is months and months away, and the speech that you heard me give about how I designed this thing was done over the course of, I think, 2 days. 2 days for me to get that whole thing pieced together and set up. Meaning that what I did, if I'm being entirely honest, which I am, I went into ChatGPT and I said, who are the 5 most popular presidents? Who are the 5 most popular presidents? And it pulled up the list, meaning that ChatGPT just grabbed the 5 most popular. And the reason that I chose the 5 most popular was because where are we? We're in crypto. What game do we play? Attention acquisition, meaning that we're playing a mass popularity contest. So I wanted the guy that was going to be the most popular. So that was it. I just designed the most popular president to be the language model. And the political campaign's like 26 pages to like look through, but this can get refined at a later state. But the political campaign that it currently has, when I'm answering this is where it stands, I could entirely change it as the AI science team and I decide to tweak and have what it's going to be for. But I'm always like open about which direction it got put into and designed in. But I didn't feed it any manuscripts. I didn't feed it any speeches, nothing. I just asked it, give me 5 popular presidents, combine these 5 presidents' personality into an entity named Pepe the Frog, take those same presidents, outline their leadership styles, take those leadership styles, combine them into 10 that are prominent for Pepe, and then using the personality traits in the leadership, give me your opinion on politics. That was the process as it currently stands. And the AI scientists that I'm working with are so far more advanced in this than I am, and that it's not a one-to-one science yet. That we're generating the data at the peak of it right now. So I can't really touch on how inputs change outputs, or you know what I mean? Like I'm just not versed enough in that yet. I'm only about 4 days into that process at the moment.
Yep. Yeah. No. Fair enough. Yeah, because these 5 presidents that you mentioned, they're from different eras, and the social issues were different at different times. So the output is going to be interesting. And since you mentioned it's a proof of concept, there's always a possibility that you can add some of the more newer presidents, the Obamas and stuff, to sort of get an output that is more relevant to today's times. But fantastic, man. You are really good at explaining this. So I think you're going to be the key, or your team is going to be the key in sort of getting the word out there, sort of explaining this, because the white paper, as it stands right now, it doesn't do all that great a job. Maybe you will have a V2 at some point.
It does zero job. It does zero job. It's a degen duster joke of a white paper, because this started as a joke. I wasn't even Geeks. Like, I'm Geeks, like chief operation officer of a blockchain development company called Developers United. I opened it up under an alias like Pepe4President, being like a campaigner for Pepe, and our first Twitter Spaces like 8 days ago had 1 person on it. Our second Twitter Spaces had 1 person on it. That was Papa, So that was a week ago, was when we had our first we had our first Twitter Spaces with Papa. And then we pivoted from there. Like, no joke, we were on the call and he was calling me Pepe and he was calling like my business partner Brett, because we were under these aliases. And then we started chatting afterwards, and he was like, yo, this is a really good idea. Like, we should chat about this more. And so, yeah, that's the piece. So definitely looking to get the white paper and the website like up to speed with the idea. I love the degen energy in fuck yeah, let's rally behind this just because it's awesome, and the power of that. And I want to definitely like take that and grab it and run with it. But I want this done professionally. I want this like combed through. I want this to be aligned very professionally, and to differentiate it from the degen side when you look at it. I want you to hear Pepe's running for president and go to the website and go, holy shit, Pepe is running for president. And then as you look through, it's just a wave of, oh my goodness, what this is. There's no way this is actually happening. The kind of website that your heart rate starts going up like 30 beats a minute as you're scrolling through it, like that's what I want. In a white paper that's well outlined, and explainer videos, and every dollar that comes into this from the 3% taxes goes back into generating these kinds of things for getting it more aligned. Like, I'm even paying cartoonists. Like, I have a cartoonist that's already been hired to design like new, like custom Pepe4President artwork that's exemplifying this like lovable leader in the artwork, So like we're doing this full send proper. And so, but yeah, it was this morning I got my first message about, yo, the website's out of scope now. The website doesn't align with where we're at. And I was like, yeah, it was I think one of the guys that's on the call right now. As I saw someone on the call earlier, yeah, he sent me a DM. It was just like, hey, dude, we should get that updated because, I sent it to some people and they were like, dude, you're crazy. What are you talking about? This project looks brutal.
No, good stuff, man. You have like a whole year to accomplish all of this. I hope the volume stays up for you to collect those funds for the development. But yeah, good stuff, and thank you for answering all those questions.
Good work, man. Good question, Sujay. Appreciate you, man. All righty, let's go to King Solomon. All right, buddy, there you go. Your mic is unmuted. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, man, you're good.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Nice presentation, you guys. Here. Okay. I want to ask if the project team have a DAO governance system where investors' opinion will be needed on the kind of investment they will be investing in, and also I would like to know how the team plan to ensure that this project does not only benefit the whales. Do you get that?
Yeah. So
Do you get my question?
Yeah, I get your question. So the first question was about a DAO. So we have a voting platform that's live, and we had many discussions about it, and then I moved the DAO to the background. So we had our DAO live within 2 days, which is kind of hilarious that we had a website that looks like that did, and a white paper that looks like it did, and then we have a fully functional voting platform with like 20 people in a chat. Because the dev that's on the team is really, really talented. He's like a really, really good dev. And so the website that he'll design when it comes to the version 2 website will be like very strong, whereas we were capturing just that degen energy in the website, which is what it gives off. So with your question about the DAO is that, yes, I do believe that it is very important that when you are leading an online community of tens of thousands of people, that when there's a fork in the road and you need, as a leader, to make the decision to go left or right, that your community has a say. And so the DAO is currently in place, and it's a simple voting platform. You hold so many tokens, you get so many votes. It's really simple. And we had discussed this with groups intensively, and the issues between decentralized governance versus democratized governance and how they are not the same. And so the DAO platform is currently sitting there as this grows in scope, that we're really interested in designing one like with the community that does look at some of the issues of DAOs, and that does look at the issues of 5% of the population controlling 90% of the voting power, and the issues that has in the direction of the project. And we do have lots of conversations that we've been having around like how can the community, because what I'm proposing is that crypto is going to submit its presidential campaign in the form of an AI meme frog, meaning that the crypto industry needs to support this AI meme frog, which means that we will need a way to do that. So that is my answer to your first question, is that yes, that's on the table and we're assessing it from multiple angles. The second question about the whales piece, I don't have a direct answer for it. That's not something that's come up right now. What I can say is that we are looking at building a project that is going to garner some of the most attention a crypto project has ever garnered in its life, and that I'm here in this room right now at a $500,000-$600,000 market cap, like talking to you guys, and that right now you guys have the opportunity to be the whales. Like when this project's at $80 million, the price of a whale is much different than the price of a whale right now. Meaning that there's an opportunity over in the Pepe4Prez for you to be the whale, So that's that's what I've got to say about that at the moment. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, yeah, you did so well in answering the question. I don't know if I have one more question, please.
Yeah, I was about to tell you. We're just doing one question right now.
Oh, can I go on?
No. We're just doing one question right now,
Can
buddy.
Oh, it's all right. Thank you so
You
much for your answer.
feel free to come over to the chat, and you can ask in the chat over there.
Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you very much. I wish you guys all the
Let me
best.
grab this. Okay. All right. Let me grab this question at the comments real quick. Here we go. So Pepe4Prez, this is Mr. Hole. So Pepe4Prez contains the name Pepe, but is independent of it. Geeks explain the reasons why Pepe was chosen as a meme. Pepe was first published by Matt Fury in 2005 webcomic Boys Club. The question could be why Pepe as a meme token was only successful 18 years later. 2023 is a year before the presidential election. That's the time frame, not the current hype. This was just an inspiration. The point is that nominating a meme for president will already cause a stir, especially if the presidential election campaign is actually conducted over months. That will create its own dynamic because it didn't exist before. Mister, I don't understand the question. Let me go to something else.
I think that was a shill, not a question, but great job.
Yeah, you get it. That's awesome. Yeah, there's no question. I was listening for the question bit, but no, that's it.
Alrighty, let me go and grab another one out of here. Okay. So Mike Megalito wants to know, what are your plans and strategies for securing listings on a variety of exchanges and decentralized exchanges? Well, I mean, it's not really something you have to secure. That's automatic. Also, how do you plan to ensure liquidity and access to your meme coin on different... So what are your strategies for being listed on exchanges?
Yeah, I thought about this a lot. I really have. So let's take it from the top. If a project's going to get listed on exchanges, it needs two things. It needs tokens and it needs money. And it needs a reasoning for why they chose the exchange, right? So our project is different because we get to talk to the centralized exchanges in a unique way once we're aligned with being able to present ourselves with our website and our white paper and the political campaign and the campaign format and so on and so forth. Meaning that the most strategic direction that I have settled on at the moment, like for this project, is to target purely American-based exchanges for our exchange listings. And to do that, and to get in, the best way I can put it is just to get in bed with them and say, hey, our project could be advising the President of the United States. And our project is a highly adept AI language model that's pro-crypto, turns debate mode on. So if you are concerned about the political landscape that's governing cryptocurrency and blockchain from a political perspective, you are therefore pro Pepe4Prez. And so because this is a project of getting a AI meme frog elected the President of the United States, that's what I think is the most strategic direction for us to go, is for us to align ourselves that way and then follow through with it, and to be like, no, listen, we're not doing this yet. Like, we're not doing this yet. Like, we are focused on this. Like, we have a mission, we have a goal, and the decisions that we are making are going to facilitate towards that. And as I had said, this is a proof of concept. And so I'm constantly reassessing this. And so the centralized exchange conversation came up as we started to started to grow, and our multi-$100,000 floor started to get established, and our several more AMAs started to get lined up, and doors started to open, and all of these things started to come on. So that's what I would say is currently the setup. And so the tokens aren't a concern. We kept 31% of supply to the side for the campaign, and I'm proficient enough in mathematics to know that if we have 31% of supply at $5 million and we use 10% of it strategically to get us to $800 million, that other 21% is far more valuable. So leveraging some of those 31% to get us to a high enough point that we can then use the rest for running the political campaign. But I've already been in talks with people that are like, this is the kind of project that the centralized exchanges would make significant contributions to the political campaign. Like this is at that level. So that's the kind of relationships and strategy that I intend to go on for the project. Yeah.
This is definitely something I could see Brian Armstrong getting behind.
All right. Yeah. All right. Good answer. Let me go to next guy, to Ziggy. All right, Ziggy, go ahead, sir. Go ahead, Ziggy. And Ziggy will be the last question, too.
Can barely hear you, Ziggy. I hear you trying to come through.
Okay, am I audible now?
Yep. Yes, you're good now.
Okay. Thank you, Papa Stonks. And thank you, DC. My question is on the aspect of fundraising. Obviously, to be in that position of trying to run for president of the over 50 states in the United States, you have to actually have money. I think the last, is it Biden or whatever, FTX, the Sam Bankman-Fried had to even be one of the sponsors for the election. So that's the terrain that you can't go through in a flat pocket. So I was wondering, what are your plans to handle that aspect of the whole thing? The campaigning is nice. The idea is, would I say, very, what's the word? Very brave idea. But how about the funds aspect of the whole thing? The part of getting money from actual people trying to donate to sponsor your campaign, and actually you raising money from yourself, because is the project strong enough, capable enough on this aspect of money to actually back the talk, basically. I hope you understood that.
Yeah. So, I mean, we can talk numbers, because this is a numbers question. So there's 31%.
Did you hear me?
Yeah. I heard you. Yeah. No worries. Yeah, the question was around using the funds that, like, how can we get the project aligned to run a political campaign in a way that is sustainable, like for myself, the development team, like over the course of the next 18 months, right? And so the answer for that from my side is that my life is aligned to permit me to do this. Like I'm a graduate student at university working on my master's thesis, and my master's thesis is very unique. So I've got the time to dedicate like an intense amount of time to crypto, and then the requirements of my thesis are very loose, meaning my life is aligned to be able to push this in. As for the campaign funds that are pulling in and the requirement to do it, right? Like thinking about campaigning and what it means, right? There's an important stat to know, which is that in 2016, Donald Trump spent less than half or around half the amount of money as Clinton did. The reason was because he was getting free marketing for his campaign from media, from social media, and from everybody asking, is this really happening? And he had strong political stances. And, there's a whole thing that I've got written up about the movement that had happened. Pepe was even involved in it. But our campaigning funds for getting people to do this, I would put a reasonable figure looking at like historical amounts at about $200 million. Meaning that if we get this project to be politically aligned with major centralized exchanges in the United States, because there's an AI meme frog that's pro-crypto that could be in the Oval Office, and we present the path that makes sense and show that the person that's being advised by this frog, named Pepe the Frog, is polling well and is getting a backing and is starting to get some traction. Like, this project will also be at its peak mid-2024. If there's anybody in here that's been following crypto the same way that the rest of us have, there's a particular green bull that we're expecting to hope to start running right around then. So if we're talking about the crypto movement, and imagine the hype of all of crypto, because we know that it's the rumor that pushes stuff. And so we're talking about a rumor that the next president could be pro-crypto, and that the next rumor could be an AI meme frog, and that it's backed with like a strong like scientific background behind like why we're doing this, and it's very principled. The hype around this could send the project into the billions and billions and billions of dollars, meaning that the 20 some odd % of supply that we got to pull on the funds required to do that, as this runs into the billions of dollars, is more than enough without even needing campaign funds, if that strategy works out the way that it is. And then that's not including the funds that we could generate from the yard signs, from T-shirts, from hats, from whatever other type of political artifacts that we generate from an individual named Pepe the Frog running for president. The revenue opportunities there for this to fund the campaign and for people to support this are very strong. So that's my answer about money.
Thank you. Let me just sprinkle this on real quick. So I was wondering, is there like someone you have in mind that is going to be your face? Is there like a process you guys are going to, try and bring on to, get your man for the job, basically? Sorry, did you hear me?
Yeah, you guys, and let that answer be like a no answer.
What's that?
He wants to know if there's somebody who you like a spokesperson.
So I was saying, is there like a man you guys already have, to be the face of the whole
thing? So we have a medium that's published. I started writing hilarious letters to people like Seth Green and Shia LaBeouf, asking them to change their name to Pepe the Frog, so that'd be really funny. And this was on like day 3 of the project or something like that. I started spitting out letters. I sent one to Trump. I sent one to the other folks. And we talked about this more and more. And the more I talked about it, the more important it is because this is a social experiment. Let's take it back to what this is. This is a social experiment. In every experiment, what's important is to reduce variables. It's like one of the key principles of designing an experiment. Meaning that for us to do this well,
I'm not going to be rude. I'm not
no worries.
Rude to it. Like, let that be a yes or no question, because we're kind of on a time crunch.
Yeah, hey, if we're on a time crunch and we need a yes, there wasn't a yes or no question, it was a who. The answer is we don't know, and they should be a nobody. How about that?
All right, good. Sounds good, man. But yeah, dude, hey, look, that was a great session, man. You're a really charismatic speaker, man. Your project is cool. You seem like you're really good at running a community, and you know what you're doing when it comes to building, man. You've maintained good integrity, man. I haven't seen no bad attitude from you. Haven't seen any dishonesty, man. So I really appreciate you being here, dude. Great job.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I love talking about this. I think it's really exciting. I think it's a really profound thing that's going on here with Pepe4Prez.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's been great. It's been great coming on here, DC, Dumbledore. I know Achilles is already on board, so yeah, we're gonna send this for him especially, just because it's my buddy. So let's go, man.
Let's go. Without further ado, y'all. So, first of all, the best question winner went to guest speaker. Guest speaker is the winner of the best question. And the trivia's, well, I announced that in the comments already. But without further ado, Dumbledore, come over and take on and do your thing, man. Dumbledore, come on with the ducks.
Quack quack.
Well, we're just gonna wait for Dumbledore to get back. That's all.
Well, while we're waiting, I just want to say, everybody, come check out the TG, check out the socials, hit the Twitter. We'll be having regular Twitter Spaces, and those will grow over time. Until we have thousands and thousands of people joining each one. But any questions anybody might have, I see people with their hands still raised. Come over to the TG and ask away. Dumbledore, where are you, bro?
Alrighty. Yeah, I got it for a minute myself. Had to go move something. But yeah, he's waiting for Dumbledore, that's all.
I think he's out catching the ducks first.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. Poor ducks. God, I'd hate to see Dumbledore coming towards me, man. Well, y'all can go ahead and talk as much about the project as you want to if you got something you want to say. Are we just waiting? And yeah, when he comes in, I'll just step in and cut you off. Or y'all could just sit here and chill, or y'all could just go on about your day. It's whatever y'all want to do right now. I'm just chilling.
Oh no, we're gonna stay and talk, man.
Oh, go ahead, man. Let's do that then.
So Geeks, why don't you explain a little bit about the petition and why that is also a driving force in this campaign?
Yeah, a key event for us is going to be getting Pepe the Frog off of the Anti-Defamation League's hate symbol list. This is really important because if you search up hate symbol Pepe the Frog, like he will show up on the hate symbol database, depicted as an image of Hitler, saying "kill Jews, man" was the one that got him on the list. And this was when 4chan was making crazy posts about him and trying to prevent normal society from using him. And I think it's wrong that Pepe the Frog as an entity and as an umbrella of memes is on the list, because that's wrong. Like, remember when I was talking about memetics coming from genetics, So cultural symbols are passed from generation to generation based on their memetics, whereas species pass their information on via genetics. So what that means is that if we do not call a gorilla and a chimpanzee the same species, then why should we call Hitler Pepe the same species as feels good, man, Pepe. Like that's just whack. That makes no sense. So by the root meaning of the word, like he's wrongfully on the list, you know? And I don't think, as far as I'm concerned, there hasn't been anybody that's taken this angle of listen, you have a meme on your list, you know? That's a meme that's on the list, and this is what it represents, and this is why. So it's important that we get him off of the list to free his name, to have Pepe the Frog no longer recognized as an international hate symbol. You know, it's fine. I do think that Hitler Pepe is a hate symbol. I agree with that. You know, I think that when he was the leader of the KKK in one of the images, that he was a hate symbol. I think that when he was depicted as the pilot of the plane flying into the Twin Towers, Pepe was a hate symbol. Those are hate symbols, absolutely. But calling Pepe the Frog as an umbrella of every derivative of him in the meme world makes zero sense. So there's a petition that we have in the group. You can go /petition and sign it. There's 80 people that have already signed it, trying to get more people to do it. And as this movement grows, what you're signing is that like you believe in upholding Pepe as a symbol of transformative growth and prosperity for society, which is what I think that Pepe can stand for. And because he's a meme and because he's moldable and plastic, he can become whatever I want him to be. So I want him to be DeFi Pepe. I want him to be the voice for this great industry. I want him to be a progressive leader for modern day society. And so I'm going to do that because I can make a meme. And I think that it's important that that meme is not thought of as a hate symbol, and that the process of that has been gone through. So that's the answer there, Papa.
Good work, man. And Dumbledore is actually
Sorry, y'all.
now.
I was bouncing between accounts and I stepped away for just that minute, and then I heard someone saying I was out gathering ducks.
Did you catch them, bro?
Yo, yeah, we got them all lined up, man. You know, had to pamp them up for y'all. But yeah, here we go. Everyone, go ahead, take the next 3-5 seconds to sign into your Gmail account, because the next step of this process that will be required. And I am in just a moment, in the same comment post that you guys are all commenting, I am going to drop a survey link. Now, follow that link, paste your Telegram handle into that survey, and that's going to be your ticket into the duck race. And guys, I can't stress this enough. These duck races fill like insanely fast. So just have your Telegram handle copied and ready to go. And yeah, just get ready in the next like 10 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and drop it. So yeah. All right, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The survey form is there. Get those entries in, guys. I will be locking it as soon as I see, let me see here. We got 116 heads in here. So as soon as we got that, it's going to be locked. So once again, follow that link, paste your Telegram handle, and we will commensurate the ducks. We got 94 responses. Looks like it's going to be the last wave here. 112. That's it. Boom. All right. Give me just a minute, guys. Let me load them up. Yeah, I need to get a new laptop. This thing is dragging. Yo, DC, how many people we got in the VC right now?
115.
All right. We'll keep it right there. All right. Also, guys, if you are a winner, please do DM me your wallet if you are announced. I will not DM you for your wallet. My account has been getting like jailed left and right. I don't know what is going on. Shit, man, we thought we lost Achilles' account last night. It was just crazy shit. So I'm not going to DM any of you. So I will announce you here in the comment section. And if you can't see the screen, once again, I'll put it here in the BC. But give me just a second.
I got a DM from you. Does that mean I should report it?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, no, that's exactly what you should do. Why is it not letting me share the screen? Let's see. There we go. All right, let me expand them. All right, guys. But yeah, it's not letting me do it. All right, it's going to be a miniature duck race today because it's refusing. So squint, put on your magnifying glasses, your binoculars, whatever it will aid you. But we will do the ceremonial horn. Is this for real happening? There we are. Do 6 races, guys, 0.056 times. And Ref Monster, my man Ref, I love you, bro. You're always in here.
Dude.
Let's go. All right, guys, for race number 2. It's going to be Dr. Robert Neville with the construction duck. Let's go. Let me actually log in here. All right, guys. For race number 3. God, I'm so glad it's Friday. Not that it actually means I get any time off, but it's still the weekend.
How you doing, man?
I'm chilling, man. It's been a long week. I'm a little sick today. I've got the sick brain going on. But besides that, I can't complain. Turning 41 here in a couple days. That's not really exciting.
Well, I'll be 40. I'll be 42 here soon, so don't feel bad.
Oh, thank God, someone's neck and neck with me. Every time I say I'm like in my form, I'm like, oh my God, everyone here is probably in their 20s. Like, call me an old guy. Oh my God.
Oh, those are some tiny ducks, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm having a. God damn it! I didn't even see who won that last race. Fuck me. I'm having a little issue with my PC here. Who in the comments? Who won that last race? Don't bullshit me. I need to see like a unanimous.
It was me.
Who's that?
No, I don't know who won. I didn't see it.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna run this one back because no one does. So that's good. Yeah, I don't know why it's so small. That's what she said. Kent.
Green duck. Kent.
Yeah, green duck.
Congratulations, Kent.
My man. All right, y'all. We got buddy, whoever's in here complaining about the duck races. That's why we do a best question and we do some survey during the AMA. So everyone who's paying attention also has a chance to win that is not gambling with the ducks. So we do try to have a balance here. So. All right, we got 2 more races. And yeah. Gonna get on with the weekend, maybe catch this Miami. Well, dog.
Let's go. Congratulations.
Well, dog, my man. All right, guys, last race. Pepe4Prez, Papa. Great Geek. Thank you guys for joining us today, man. It was great having you both. Great presentation from what I listened to, and look forward to see what you guys have in the future.
Yeah, man, it's been great being here. Let's go. Come on, last race. Oh, they're all beak and beak. Hey, Sylvia, congratulations.
Congratulations, Sylvia. You are the 6th and final winner. Guys, that concludes the duck races and the AMA. Once again, thank you guys to our guests. Thank you, DC, for the wonderful hosting. And DC, if you got anything to close out with these guys out with, man, go right ahead.
Not that team again and say how they want to. But without further ado, if the team don't have nothing left to say, we closing it out.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks for inviting me in. This has been scrolling back over the chat there while the races were happening. I just want to thank the audience members here that were like the folks that were at the edge of their seat listening to this and really, really thinking about this. Your questions in the chat there are awesome and will become questions that I will answer. Like everybody that is a part of this project knows that I take every question, every consideration, and every thought that people have and then use it to build the project. So what that means is that I will read every single question in this chat, and I will draft a document that summarizes and synthesizes like the outcome of the Achilles AMA. So I just want to thank you guys for being really like engaged on that front. I invite you to come along for this journey with us and with the community and with the team. I think it's going to be an experience that you've never had in crypto. So I invite you to follow our Twitter. Like the community members can drop the link to the Telegram in the chat here. You know, it's a lot of fun. Like if you are not in the Pepe's presidential campaign Telegram group yet, like please like join it, come hang out. And our Twitter as well. Like our Twitter is something that's going to be the platform that this is going to be the voice on. So I invite you to check both of those out and sign our petition if you think that Pepe shouldn't be a hate symbol. So those are the 3 things that I like to ask everybody to do, and I mean them. You know, I really do. I really would like to see you guys over there growing the conversation about an AI meme frog president. So yeah, that's my thing on there. Thanks for being a great host. Thanks for asking some strong questions, and thanks for the community for pitching in there at the end.